that day for me. Yeah, yeah.
So I ordered food a little bit ago, and I was sitting in the garage, and I was just sitting here waiting for the food. I randomly decided to pull my scooter harness apart, and this is what when I have free time looks like. The second I was able to look at my moped, I started taking things apart, and now I just completely separated my harness. So this is my actual motor harness, everything that's needed for the motor, and this is my lights and switches, which I'm definitely going to go through and redo. There's just so much random pieces, and nothing lines up, so all the wires are different lengths, and it was all just like really sloppy. Yo, we got dinner, bro. Dude, they gave me like a whole thing of lettuce. Since I pulled the harness all the way out the pad and I took it all apart, I was like, I'm gonna clean it all up. So you can see how simple this is. I literally have one plug going to my throttle, comes down here. There's two plugs that go to my CDI box. Then I have up here a solid ground, the main ground for the harness. This plug goes to my spark plug, and then I got one plug going to my carburetor. That's my auto choke. I'm gonna redo the wires on this plug, but this is my main one for my stator. This is like the main one. Basically have like 7 wires that makes this ped run, and that's how simple my harness is. This is my main engine harness, and it's that simple. So now I'm gonna go back. I gotta do a couple more connections in some spots, freshen some stuff up, put some new tape on it, clean it up, and then that's it. And then my motor harness is on, so I can basically start the moped today. I probably should be soldering all this and doing it right, but it'll do. It'll work. I forgot that once I got a new carburetor, I had to do this, but the part that holds your throttle, I flip it upside down so this sits lower, because it's like, then it links with it good. Otherwise, you realize with the 150 carb, it's like hard to get the throttle cable to line up without it being like really like crappy feeling. Flip this upside down and it helps it be a lot smoother because it's closer to this and it puts like less stress on the actual cable. But everything else is kind of wired and tucked away, so I should be able to actually try to start this thing soon. Alright, so I got everything hooked up. I still haven't finished everything yet because I want to do my wiring for my lights. And once I do the wiring for the lights is when I'll go through and put everything back in that like harness cover and get everything dialed, put the plastics on. But now I have everything wired up for the motor, so technically the thing should start. Basically got everything zip tied. I did my throttle cable. It was a pain this time to get dialed. That's all good. Exhaust is on. Everything's bolted down. That should be everything. Seat's done. Oh my god. Whoa, boy. Oh, she's sounding good. She's sounding good. I don't want to die in here. Well, it started and I was literally just about to go ride it and I totally forgot that I don't even have a rear brake in it at all. Like, I knew I didn't have the rear brake hooked up, but I don't have the rear brake in it at all, and this wheel is literally hand tightened on right now. And I have nothing between the wheel for like the space here. I probably would have ate shit. I'm glad I noticed that. But like just some performance brake, some cheapie off Amazon. We're gonna see how it does. I'm gonna throw that in, and then we're gonna get to test ride the scooter. I forgot what it even feels like to wheelie this thing, in all honesty. I just sat on it. It feels so goofy now. The brake's super easy to put on. Literally just match the side. There's a rounded side, and there's a flat side, and one goes here, and then one goes to the rounded side down there. Then hook up the brake cable, and she should be able to go ride.
Yeah, it's probably like in the same general area.
That's crazy though.
It's in the middle of the street. So.
You're never gonna find that. Oh, you dead. Where is it? Oh. Oh! In the bush, bro. Oh God, oh God. Something is loose. I think I didn't tighten my front wheel. Taking a break from the scooter build because we're deciding to pull everything out of the garage and clean the garage because we've been working in here for like a steady month now, cutting things up, and the garage is just filthy. So get a quick clean on the garage, and then back to work. Full clean out. This thing is so hard to roll. Like, it's ridiculous. I know it's because the welded diff, but I think the brakes up front are locked on it. That thing would not roll, but got everything else pulled out. The bug, dude, the bug is so dirty. You can see this. Got all the toys pulled out. So I'm probably gonna move the Elite to the back with the other mopeds and get it out of the garage since I probably won't be working on that for like another month or so. I was just driving this thing and man, she needs to be tuned up a little bit for sure. The idle is like ridiculously high right now, and I need to do a lot of my oil lines and gaskets on this thing. Once I get the Beamer where it's drivable and I can stop working on it for a little bit and get the scooter done and everything done, I'm gonna go back into this bug, freshen her back up. The gaskets are getting pretty worn out. She's leaking oil out everywhere. I need to get actual steel braided lines and AN fittings for my oil lines. Alright, so I just finished up wiring up my lights. I basically got everything ran right now. I'm letting my battery charge. My battery's hard to charge once my plastics are on. So I'm letting that sit here and charge for a little bit, and then I'm gonna throw it all together. But basically here we go for the lights. I have just a positive wire running straight to the battery, and then it splices off into each switch for the rear tail light. So it splices off this positive that's to the battery, and then this positive goes all the way to the actual light itself. And then this one has the positive going to the switch here, which splices off into this one, which is the main positive, and then the ground for the light runs all the way back, and then the ground for the headlight and the tail light meet up here and then clamp into the battery. That's simple as that. There we got the headlight, and then on this switch, we got the tail light. Easy as that. Now I'm gonna let this charge for a little bit, and then I'm gonna go ahead and run all the harness back inside of this like covering stuff, and then put the harness away and then put the plastic on. Also from the fire, my breather tooth on my gas cap burnt. So I still have my burnt gas cap, but I took a regular fuel line I had, put it on the breather tooth, and then I took this nipple and just poked a little pin-sized hole in it. That way the fuel could still breathe out. I'll need a new kickstart soon though. Like I can feel it's getting sloppy again. Usually means the bushing in it broke. Alright, I got all the wires tucked away in the loom and taped down to the frame and everything. I decided to keep this piece black, by the way, but alright, I'm gonna start throwing on all the other plastics now and getting everything pretty much arranged. I gotta change my fuel filter though. Alright, this thing looks really good. This happened in the fire on this side, so I cut this side to kind of match. I did what I could because I couldn't run my plate no more. The coffee bean look, man. It looks pretty damn good. It's definitely the cleanest my scooter's been for a long time. I like how you can just see the brown in some parts right next to the tan. Like the brown's not too much, and then you see it back here. And then you can only see the brown in some spots, but it looks so good from the back. Dude, that thing looks really good. It's just missing one thing. Man.
Dude, that color sticker pops on
The whole thing.
I don't think they'll hear you. It's so fucking windy.
Really? Okay. No, those wind muffs do wonders, bro. I haven't done a wheelie on this thing in months, but we're not going on a ride today, so I thought it was only right if I do a wheelie to end this video. But
Might tip over from the wind.
vlog coming soon, but for now, I have practice.